Hello and welcome back to GT Racer. Today I'm going to show you how to build a big and beautiful wooden fence that has these mesh parts you can see where you can grow different kinds of vines, climbing roses, beans or any other kind of vegetable or plant that likes to grow and make a good and beautiful green wall of flowers and sometimes beans and of course green leaves. But first we need to think about how do we anchor this fence into the ground. There is many ways you can do it. One of the more common ways is of course, in the old ways, is to do it with concrete. It's a good way. It's a very stable and secure way, but it's tedious, it takes a lot of time. One way to do it is, of course, the most tedious way is to dig the hole, have the sand in the bottom, you have a big paper cylinder you put down, you mix the concrete, put in the metal brackets where you fix the wood later on, and then you wait for it to burn, and then that takes forever. And when you do a fence like this fence which I have built is probably around, I don't know, 40 meters long, and I have like maybe 25 anchor points. If I would do all this and I'm alone, if I would do all this by myself, it would probably take me a whole summer. Now it hasn't. It's only take me like 2 weeks, because instead of concrete I use something else, and that is a metal screw. This is becoming very popular in Sweden and probably all over Europe too. This, you can buy this in many different sizes, and this is with the brackets. This is a 70mm bracket, but there's many different kinds of distances depending on what kind of fence you want to have. Of course, the length, this is about 90 centimeters. There's longer. There's a type of this that is called poles. This is a foundation screw, because you screw it down, but it's also like a screwing pole, and you can buy them up to 2.5 meters, so you can really dig them and secure them very far down. But for me, I like to buy this one, about 90 centimeters. It's good enough, it's strong, it goes very fast to secure in the ground, and I have never had any problem. I've been working with this for at least 5 years now. I will show you how to secure it, and then I will show you how to build the frame, and of course how I fixing the metal mesh, and in the end also how we fixing the planks, as you can see there. So let's start with the screw. How do we do the ground screw? Here's the other side of school where I'm working now, building the frames, as you can see. And if you remember from my last video, we were over there and we dug up that concrete foundation with a metal pole in it. And today we are going to continue here. As you can see, this is how you see the marks, the foundation screws, and then in them very easily fix the 70 times 70 millimeters pole. But as you can see, I had to cut it out here because one of my ground screws was actually only a 50mm screw. I don't know why, I got the wrong one, so I had to do a little cut out. But it's strong enough. Let's now see how I will fix the next screw, and without using any kind of machines, only my own brilliance and hard labor. First of all, I need to measure. The distances between my ground screws is 180. Don't ask me why I chose just 180. I felt it was a good distance. I could have taken 2 meters, I could have taken 1.5 meters. But 2 meters and above that, the distance getting a little bit too wide on the screws. Remember, it has to withstand storms, snow, stuff like that. So, and if it's too small, 150, then I have to do so many of these, and there's long distances. So you have to measure a balance between the economy, you want to buy as few as possible, and to have as many as possible to withstand, you know, just times passing, the storms and everything. So I'm doing 180. Now I have 180, it's precisely here. I try to line it up too. So I have a good line. I take an aim for the row. It feels good. Now I start with pushing it down and start screwing it so it fastens. Now it's secure enough. The whole screw is under the ground, and now I will start to really take. I can't do it by hand because it's too difficult, and you can use it. You can do it with big electric machine like power drills, but the big ones you put on top here that forces down. I don't have one because they are very expensive, so I use an old. I use an old iron instead. It's strong, it's heavy, it's easy. Now I will do a small merry-go-round. Let's put here, and back, I'll start going around. It's like a carousel, but only very small. And slow. Getting dizzy now. Ooh. Okay, a few more turns. Now it's getting more of a resistance because now it's maybe 60-70 centimeters down. Now I have to be a little bit careful when I go around. I don't want to bend this because if I start holding like this, I will bend this out. I don't want to destroy them. We're having problem bending them back. But I think we need a little bit more. Whew. And there we have it. It took under 5 minutes. And now it's in line. It's a little bit lower because the whole grass here is it's slow down slope a little bit. So I'm trying to adjust for that. Now the next step is, of course, to fasten the big pole. I don't know, pole, whatever you call it. In order to get everything straight, the big standing posts, before you screw them, when they are loose, you just put them in. You have to use a label, the water label, and you have to see that they are 90 degrees to the middle of the earth, and of course that way too. And after you are sure, you start fastening the two first one, and then you have 5. I have 5 holes on each side, but I usually only put in like 3 or 4 on each side. It's enough. Now we're back at the big fence with the metal mesh, and I have done it exactly the same way, except these posts are much bigger. They are 95 times 95. That is pretty massive, but of course this is over 2 meters high. And you see, after I fixed the post, I have a upper and a lower plank. I think it's 25 times 28, and that's only for fixing the distance between the post And then I uses this one, a diagonal, to fix the whole square so it doesn't tilt and become some sort of rhomb. And after I do that, then it's finished. Then I just need to cut the planks. I have them the same length, 180, and I just screw them on the other side. It's very simple. I have like 210 is the distance, and around 2 meters high, and the planks is 180. But the interesting thing is the mesh. This is of course a standard mesh, 5 millimeters, and this is for making concrete walls, floors and roofs. I buy them in huge sections. They are 5 times 250, 5 times 2.5 meters, and then I cut them down to the right size. And these, of course, I only put 2 planks. First, a smaller plank. No, it's the same distance as those, but that is centered. This is a little bit off center. And I just put the first one here and the first one up there. I put in the net. In the net up here, it's a little bit of net goes up here, and I just bend it like a hook and have a small screw, so the net is hanging freely in the first one. And then it's very easy to take the second one and just tightly screw it as hard as possible so it really clasp the metal net. I do the same down here, as you can see. So it's only 4 planks holding the metal mesh, except for 2 hooks I made. And this one I will use for, see, I'm not finished here yet. And in the middle of here I will dig a big hole, maybe up to 1 meter in diameter, and at least 50, 60, 70 meter deep, and have new soil, very good new soil, and build up like this. And I will plant some sort of wine, rose, bean, something that later on will climb and make a beautiful green and flowery wall. And that is what I will do in every section going up. And here I have the whole corner to the street is actually mesh. It looked like a prison all the way, because I want everything here to become one big green and flowery wall. And maybe I will also do a pergola up here, you know, an upper roof that the vines will grow up on. That will be so beautiful. And that was all for today. I hope you liked my fence, my big fence, and the smaller fences I'm building, and I hope you can get a lot of ideas and make your own designs and ideas, because the possibilities are endless. You can change it as much you like, you can decorate it as much you like, and well, it's like endless possibilities. Please give me any comments, or if you have any ideas, send me ideas. And I hope I see you in the next video. Goodbye, and have a very good gardening day.